Good morning, students. We're going to go over some of the things we're going to do today. We're going to start with the first graders, and we're going to look at our bird feeders and what we're doing. And I'm going to show you again what it's going to look like when you're done. This is the bird feeder that you're going to make. All right. So right now you've got all kinds of pieces of wood that you've been sanding on and that. So the first thing we're going to do is we want to start with putting pieces on the bottom. So you can see I started nailing this one on here. You got those little gold nails. You see the holes, you line the holes up, make the bottom, keep it nice and level across the bottom here. And then you just take and nail the nails in. All right? And you'll see one side matches up end to end, and that's what you want. So let's start with that side there. So you find a piece that matches the same thing on the other side. All right, and you notice this one here doesn't match, it's shorter. So you find the one that matches and you put it on there. This other one will go on the other side and it will cross the end pieces like this. So you'll have that. All right, now before you start nailing on there, you may want to take a tape measure. Make things a little easier for you on the next part is you go and you measure across and you'll see that we have 7 inches. So halfway is 3.5 inches. Draw yourself a line at 3.5 inches. That way you can put this block on here, which is going to be the end piece. You can trace around it and you want to have the block centered and you're going to drill 2 holes. And you're going to drill 2 5/32 inch holes in there, okay? And you're going to use yourself, if you have something that you can use a punch to punch a little dipple in the wood, so when you put the drill bit on it to drill, it doesn't skate all over the place for you. It'll stay right there. And you drill those holes there. The same thing on the other side. Now on the top piece, we need to drill some holes also. So we're going to go 4.5 inches over and take and mark. Our block is going to go down 1.25 inches down to the back side of it, so it's going to sit on there like this so you can see it. And you're going to drill 2 holes there and do the same thing on the other side. Now this other hole here that you drilled will probably end up be making a little bigger later on, because that'll be putting the cord through it to hang it, because this is going to be the top of your bird feeder, okay? So this piece will sit up top here like this piece, okay? And you have the screws. I put them in your kits to run those screws down in there. And you have your nails to run down in there, okay? So you can start putting it together. And then you can sand once you get it together, and take your time. We still got quite a few weeks left, so just do a little bit every day. Don't get over enthusiastic with it. We still got a few weeks left, so we'll just do a little bit every day. So you just want to make sure you get these nailed on there. Just use a small hammer and hammer them down in there. All right? So it looks just like that when you're done. All right? So we'll just keep going like that as we go, and you'll have a nice bird feeder when you're all done. You'll be able to hang it up out in the backyard and get some bird seed and put in it and watch the birds fly in, and they're fun to sit and watch. Bird feeder is a lot of fun. So that is the stuff you want to do. Like I said, you're going to just drill your holes. You know, take your drill. Hopefully mom or dad has a drill. Some drill bits, and you just get your hole and run your bit through it, okay? Now, do not stand there and do it up like I am. I'm doing it like this to show you. If I was actually drilling this, I already have the holes drilled. I'd have it down on my workbench and then drill down. Make sure I don't have it drilling into a table and that and hanging over the edge so it can drill through and I don't have to worry about it. All right? So that's what you guys are going to be working on. the kids at school are going to be doing the same thing. I'm going to be drilling their holes for them and help them drill. I might be taking my big drill press that's sitting right over here. You can see it. I had it there last week for the sixth graders. We were doing stuff, and we're going to be doing some more with the sixth graders today. And maybe if I can move this down so they can see it a little better. Because now the sixth graders, we're going to be doing stuff, and you guys are going to be doing a lot of drilling. And we're going to try and get it, if the camera sits still here for me. Yeah, now we can see the table. Okay, sixth graders. We're going to be drilling some holes. We got to bore some holes in our cross arms. Okay, that's these pieces here. We're going to be drilling a hole like that in each one of them. That's a 1/2 inch hole. And I have a 1/2 inch Foster bit set up in the drill press. And we just drilled right down through there. I'll go through it, bring it back up, and we'll do each leg. Now, if you drew your templates, you'll have those to go by, but we're also going to have to do some measuring here. So you look at your arm, and my arm is 1 inch, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/8, okay? So 1 inch and 5/8. So you want to find half of that, all right? Basically, depending on how wide yours is, if you followed your template, you can measure it and get your width, and you want to come down. The center of the hole should be at roughly 3/4 of an inch. So that's where you want your center. 3/4 of an inch down will be the center of the hole. That's right in here, okay? Not the start, but right across the center of it. And you want to bore that hole right in the center. Like I said, that's going to be a 1/2 inch hole, because you will be getting 1/2 inch dowel rods. They'll be coming home a week from today. And the dowel rod is going to go in there, so you can put your arms and your legs will go together to make your table. And we'll be doing the same thing with the legs, only the legs you're going to have 2 holes. Okay? So we'll be drilling the holes. Again, we have to do our measuring. And we're going to be coming down again. 3/4 of an inch will be the center for the top one. And 10, and looks like right about 10 1/8 for the center of the second one. All right? And you want them right in the center also. All 4 legs, and that's your long pieces, will have those holes drilled in them. And that will have all of your pieces there that are drilled. Now, in your arms, we're going to have to drill a couple more holes. And I thought I had one of them marked here. I do. But we'll be drilling a hole here. You can see roughly come back about 1 inch. And this doesn't have to be exact. So you're going to find that you want to make all 4 of them the same. So stack them up, and you want to have a hole drilled across here on both of them, and back here on both of them. All right, so line your holes across here and right here, just lined up. You're going to take and drill through with roughly, I'm going to say a 5/32 bit also will make a nice hole. And we will countersink those holes, and I'll tell you what size bit to use next week on countersinking them and show you how to do that. So your hole is not too deep, so your screw doesn't come through the top of your tabletop. All right. And then our cross pieces that go across the legs, one you're going to have to cut, or not cut, but drill. And you're going to basically take your leg or your arm and put it on there, and you can mark it that way to know where the center of the wood is. So you want the line going across, so you can put a hole like right there and one right there, also doing the same size drill bit. Now on the other side, you got to have it twice as wide. So take your 2 pieces and lay on there and mark your line. And then go back with your other piece and mark a line. And you can be drilling in between here. So you can come in the distant width of one leg and drill your holes. And I will drill those next week and show you how to do it. And that is what we're going to be doing there. Now, you are going to have your table, and if you don't remember what it looks like, here's our table. All right. Our top pieces I have laying over there on the other workbench. I'm not done with them yet. We'll work on those again. But here's the table. We're going to have one dowel rod that's going to come all the way across. A piece of a dowel rod that's going to go between the 2 legs here and over here on this side. Dowel rod, the long one, comes through across one set of cross arms all the way across, and the other one you just have little pieces of dowel rod that go in. So that makes the table. You can do this. You got your carrying handle, and there's your table. Now I will actually pull apart the table so you can see and go through how we put the legs together so everything lines up like it should. The cross arms, like I said, you have one that's going to be drilled closer to the edges. The other side gets drilled in a little further because the leg is right here. It sticks out so that when it folds, that lines up right across your legs there, so they're the same. All right. And then we will look at what we'll do as far as trying to round the edge for you guys at home, because the ones at school, they're going to be using, I'll use a hand router at school to round their edges for them, so they have this nice finished edge like this on theirs. At home, we can do kind of the same thing. We can just use sandpaper, power sander. We can round it off. If your dad has a hand plane, or even if your dad has a router, he could run those edges through the router table for you if he has one, or using a hand router to route the edges and how it all goes together. So we'll go over a little more of that next week. Again, the dowel rods will be coming home next week, so you'll have those to use, and we'll get measurements and how long each one has to be for the different pieces to put it together in that. So, and if you have any questions, again, send them to your teacher, and I will do my best to answer them when they give them to me. But if you, like I said, if you have any questions on putting it together, please let your teacher know so she can let me know. Until then, have a good week. Talk to you next week.